It's coming August 5th to 7th. 3 days that change everything quietly. You won't find it on the news, but it's already started. Texts are being ignored. Plans are falling through with no warning. People are acting off. You're not imagining any of it. This moon portal doesn't knock. It edits, not by force, by timing. One shift at a time, one conversation withheld, one emotion you can't explain. From now until August 7th, you'll see people distance, connections shift, old timelines get quiet. Let them. You're not being tested, you're being positioned. So stay with me, like this video, subscribe, and comment. 5:55 Right now the moon is crossing into a charged zone, an ancient corridor once watched by Babylonian astrologers who believed the skies could rewrite the path of kings. It's moving through Scorpio, a placement that doesn't ask. It investigates, not with questions, but with timing. Things shift below the surface when Scorpio is involved. Quiet goodbyes, emotional withdrawals, truths that don't need to be spoken to land. At the same time, the sun is casting its light near Algol, the fixed star once called the demon's head, feared by some, misunderstood by many. But in esoteric traditions, Algol wasn't seen as evil, it was seen as unfiltered truth. The kind that can't be sugar-coated or delayed. Together, this alignment draws a line between what stays and what fades. Not in chaos, but with accuracy. It's not about what you're losing, it's about what no longer matches the frequency you're now built to carry. Today, 5th August, the moon is pulling threads you didn't know were still tangled, not in loud ways, not in ways you can name, but it's happening. In the pauses between words, in the cold tone of a message, in the sudden urge to leave a room you once clung to. You're being moved, not pushed. The shift doesn't ask for permission, it simply begins. On a spiritual level, this isn't about becoming someone new, it's about no longer echoing who you used to be. The moon is syncing with frequencies that trigger a recalibration of the light body, not the kind that makes you glow in cliché terms, but the kind that changes how people respond to you without knowing why. Some will ignore you now, some will pull closer. That's not rejection or recognition, that's resonance. It's the new you calling forward the next chapter without needing to say a word. Your internal compass is being realigned, not because you were lost, but because what once guided you no longer applies. The old codes are expiring. The emotional downloads coming in aren't there to inspire, they're there to rewire. And during this moon alignment, nothing fake will stick. No version of you built to please, survive, or perform will make it through this filter. This is why it matters, because every time you hold back who you are to maintain something expired, your body slows, your timing warps, your clarity dulls. The moon isn't here to punish. It's here to sync you with a sharper version of reality, the one that moves when you're fully honest, fully unmasked, fully tuned in, not perfect, just real. And real is magnetic now. Real is the only frequency that lands. You're not being upgraded for show. You're being rebuilt to hold a rhythm you once thought was too wild, too inconvenient, too much. But not anymore. That rhythm is who you are. And this moon, it's turning the volume up. On the 6th of August, a different kind of static begins to build in the background. The kind that shows up as restlessness that doesn't make sense. Alertness at strange hours, especially around 2, and sudden waves of exhaustion that seem to hit for no reason. It's not burnout, it's your system syncing with something larger, moving underneath the ordinary. You might be wide awake with no thoughts, just a buzz under your skin, or emotional for no clear reason. Memories resurfacing like they've been waiting for the right sky to echo under. Don't dismiss the irritability, the short fuses, the moments you want to cry but don't know what triggered it. This moon sequence isn't asking for control, it's asking for release. There's nothing wrong with the way your edges are fraying, This isn't a breakdown, it's an energy realignment, an invisible scaffolding being taken down so something truer can finally breathe. That buzzing in your ears, it's a frequency shift, not a flaw. The unpredictability in your mood, that's you breaking out of timelines that were too tight for who you're becoming. You're not being dramatic, you're not behind, you're not too sensitive, you're sinking to a new rhythm that doesn't play by your old rule. The silence some people are giving you now isn't punishment, it's space. The uneasiness isn't fear, it's transition. These aren't problems to fix, they're signals you're tuning into something you don't need to label. On days like these, the body becomes a translator. It holds the tension, the release, the flickers of recognition that haven't reached your mind yet. Let it. Nothing needs to make perfect sense for it to be real. You're not meant to go through this looking composed. You're meant to go through this awake, even when tired. Trust what's shifting, even when it feels messy, especially when it feels messy. That's the exact sign it's working. On 7th August, something internal begins to stir. Quiet, but unmistakable. Not loud or theatrical, but a slow pull inward. Things you thought you were done with begin resurfacing in strange ways. Unspoken memories show up in glances. Unhealed wounds echo through passing moments. It's not a collapse, it's a rewatch. People you haven't thought of in years may come to mind with no reason. Regrets might tap on your awareness while you're doing ordinary things. This is shadow terrain where the things we push down come to renegotiate their place in us. Not to haunt, but to be heard, to be seen fully so they stop shaping us in silence. This energy isn't asking for forgiveness, it's asking for responsibility, for honesty without shame, for a full inventory of what's been left behind in order to look healed. We weren't meant to be polished, we were meant to be real. Khalil Gibran once wrote, "Your joy is your sorrow unmasked." That's what's happening here. The parts of you that learned to hide, that protected you through disappointment, abandonment, fear, they're showing up again because they trust you now. You're strong enough to meet them without rejecting them. Don't rush to label any of it. You may want to cry for things you never let yourself grieve. You may feel waves of resentment toward versions of yourself you thought you outgrew. All of it counts. These aren't random emotions. They're your soul asking for restoration in places you abandoned to survive. You might sense karmic echoes from past cycles, moments where you stayed quiet to keep peace or broke your own boundaries for love. Now those same patterns aren't landing the same. You're not reacting the same. That's growth, even if it doesn't feel heroic. This isn't about solving anything overnight. It's about becoming aware of what's still echoing in you even when life is quiet. It's about looking inward, not for flaws but for fractures, and choosing to carry them with truth instead of shame. You're not being punished. You're being asked to take the mask off, not for anyone else, just for yourself. Because the light that's coming next won't wait for the edited version of you. It needs the whole one. Between August 5th and 7th, while the world keeps moving in its usual rhythm, the moon begins to mark out a new internal season. It's not loud, not dramatic, but it pulls at the deepest threads of who you are. This shift isn't just about change, it's about ignition. A quiet electricity in the soul's core, ready to switch on things you forgot you even carried. You may notice a strange clarity cutting through the static. Thoughts that once felt tangled begin to arrange themselves. Old confusion drops, not because it's solved, but because you've outgrown needing to understand it. That's how you know a reset has begun. Not through explanation, but through embodiment. The moon doesn't announce its power, but it never misses. Through its silent orbit, it pulses frequencies into the nervous system, like a lighthouse scanning the waters of your being. Codes are arriving through that light, not from outside of you, but through the parts of you that already remember who you are. There's no need to chase a new version of yourself. What's coming now is about realignment, not reinvention. Your body might start responding differently to places, to people, to ideas you used to tolerate, not out of resistance, but because your vibration has reached a threshold. You're no longer trying to survive the old environment. You're instinctively moving toward where the future already knows you. The inner circuitry is reactivating. Chakras that went dormant during years of emotional shutdown or overexposure are beginning to rotate again. Your solar plexus, once silenced by self-doubt, begins to pulse with quiet certainty. Your third eye opens, not as a spectacle, but as a calm knowing that doesn't beg to be validated. This is what awakening looks like when it stops performing and starts integrating. Some may call it DNA shifts, others may speak of crystalline upgrades, but you don't need terminology to know it's real. You'll notice it in the way you walk into rooms differently, the way you stop explaining yourself to people who never saw you clearly to begin with, the way silence becomes more valuable than attention. This is your activation, not a ceremony, not a moment, but a process that began the second you stopped trying to go back to who you were. You are not improving, you are revealing. You are not fixed, you are stepping into what was always encoded inside you, waiting for this exact frequency, this exact window. You didn't miss it, you're not late. Everything from August 5th to 7th is part of a perfectly sequenced signal designed not to push you harder, but to bring you home. The moon is the witness, the shift is the doorway, and what's coming next doesn't require a title or label, it just needs you to stay open. From August 5th to 7th, the moon portal opens with a frequency that ripples far beyond personal boundaries. This isn't just a personal reset, it's a transmission that echoes through the collective field, gently but unmistakably shifting the currents beneath the surface. When your own vibration shifts, it nudges the invisible network of souls who are intertwined in the shared fabric of awakening. What you experience is not isolated, it connects like threads weaving into a larger tapestry. Each soul carries its own unique frequency, and when one awakens deeper, it sends a signal, a pulse that amplifies and resonates. This pulse doesn't shout, it hums in a way that can be subtle or undeniable depending on how deeply attuned you are. But whether faint or loud, it always moves the whole. This moon portal is a gate, a kind of cosmic relay point, allowing waves of new vibration to flow through the collective consciousness. The changes you feel aren't just yours, they're the collective adjusting, expanding, recalibrating. You may notice it in moments that catch you off guard. Someone speaking differently, a sudden awareness in a crowd, or a wave of restlessness that feels shared but unspoken. These are the signs of the collective tuning to a new frequency. The moon is like a giant magnet pulling the currents of energy into alignment, activating parts of the collective that were waiting quietly to come online. What is being awakened isn't new. It's ancient memory resurfacing in ways that feel modern, urgent, alive. This shift challenges comfort zones, not to break you, but to loosen the grip of old frameworks that no longer serve the evolution underway. Resistance will arise, especially when the collective feels the pressure of shedding old narratives, but it's not chaos. It's a clearing. Like a forest after a storm, new growth happens fastest when the old has fallen away. The moon's influence during these days is not passive. It intensifies reflection on what is authentic within you and within the groups and systems you are part of. There's a collective call to discernment, asking you to evaluate what you hold close, who you allow near your energy, and what narratives you feed. This is the kind of clarity that doesn't arrive all at once, but deepens through the hours and days. You are being asked to stand firm, not out of rigidity, but rooted in a growing inner knowing that can't be shaken by external noise. Each shift you embody during this time creates a ripple effect that expands far beyond what the eyes can see. When you move through your own changes with awareness, you offer the collective a kind of permission, an invitation to step into transformation with less fear and more grace. You become a beacon for others who are navigating their own turning points, whether they realize it or not. This is how personal and global awakening are intertwined. They are not two separate journeys, but a singular dance. The moon portal acts like a beacon, marking this as a moment of heightened cosmic communication. Your personal transformation sends frequencies that blend with the larger grid, activating potentials in unseen ways. The energy you cultivate, whether calm, fierce, or something in between, adds to a collective waveform that guides humanity's next chapter. You may not see the full picture, but your role is vital. What you choose to embody shapes the possibilities for many. On the surface, it might feel like an acceleration, like the world is spinning faster. But beneath that spin, there is a deep calibration happening, a reset to a frequency that supports expansion without exhaustion. The moon cycles have long been known as markers for change. But this particular phase, from August 5th to 7th, carries a rare intensity. It's as if the moon pulls back the lens, allowing you to glimpse your path with greater clarity, even if the path looks uncertain. The pull of this moon shift urges a realignment with your deeper truth. It strips away layers of obligation, outdated beliefs, and emotional noise that have clouded your clarity. You might find yourself questioning what you once accepted without hesitation. This is part of the collective letting go process. It's a moment when many will realize that what once felt secure now feels constricting. And that's the sign that growth is imminent. Because of the moon's steady influence, emotional currents running through the collective are amplified. Not to overwhelm, but to bring attention to what's unresolved. Whether that's unspoken grief, unexpressed hope, or hidden tensions, these currents can't remain buried. What surfaces in your life has a larger resonance. When you face your own shadows and step through discomfort, you contribute to the healing of the larger energetic body that connects us all. You might notice shifts in how you relate to others. Conversations may take on new depth or clarity. Boundaries that once felt invisible become clear. You begin to recognize where alignment exists and where it doesn't. This realignment happens collectively, but it always starts with individuals willing to hold space for the unknown and to walk forward without guarantee. During these days, there's a magnetic invitation to step into leadership, not necessarily in a public or grand way, but in the way you hold your energy. Your choice to embody calm in the face of uncertainty, to stay grounded while navigating change, creates a ripple that others feel. Many who are drawn to spiritual growth now are searching for models of integrity and balance. By showing up fully, you become one of those models. This is a time when old stories no longer resonate. The collective is shedding worn-out identities, old loyalties, and outdated ways of being. The moon's cycles coax these shifts to rise, asking you to respond, not with resistance, but with curiosity and courage. The invitation is to listen to the quiet signals within, even when the outer world seems loud or confusing. You don't have to know the entire story or destination. The moon portal acts like a cosmic spotlight, illuminating the way forward step by step. What you do know is that the path is calling you to move with integrity and authenticity. The collective needs that now more than ever. Your inner clarity is the foundation for this global unfolding. There is a growing momentum in the collective consciousness. It is as if a new chapter is being written not by one voice or one leader, but by many awakening souls choosing transformation over stagnation. This moon shift acts as a catalyst, accelerating the process and making it harder to ignore the changes that are already underway. You may see shifts in community dynamics, in the way ideas spread, and in the ways people support or resist evolution. These ripples are signs that the collective is testing new frequencies. How each individual navigates their own journey influences the tone of what's emerging. It's a reminder that no personal shift is too small. Everything carries weight in this web of awakening. As this moon portal stretches across these 3 days, it also serves as a kind of energetic checkpoint. It invites you to assess your level of commitment to growth, to connection, and to your highest vision. The collective pulse is stronger than ever before, and it's waiting for you to match that energy, not in imitation, but in your own unique way. The process may bring discomfort because it asks for honesty, the kind that demands looking at what's no longer useful and stepping away from familiar safety nets. Yet with that discomfort comes the promise of deeper freedom. The moon's quiet but persistent call offers an opportunity to redefine what freedom means on both a personal and global scale. What emerges through this period isn't just survival, it's expansion. The collective pulse is turning toward evolution that honors individuality and unity at once. Each awakened soul adds a note to this symphony of change, and the moon's guidance makes the rhythm clearer and more accessible. You're part of a wave that is not just happening around you, but within you. That wave carries the power to shift the collective, not through force, but through the natural acceleration of truth and awakening that can no longer be contained. The moon portal from August 5th to 7th is a gateway to this transformation. The wave that began moving through these days is carrying an intensity that stirs latent potentials in the collective mind. It's like a cosmic tuning fork striking a note that awakens dormant chords in the shared human experience. What might seem like random shifts in social dynamics or cultural rhythms are actually the echoes of countless inner transformations happening simultaneously. Your personal clarity is a part of this greater resonance. Each time you align with your truth, you contribute to a collective vibration that's shifting old narratives about connection, power, and purpose. These days between August 5th and 7th offer a rare window to step out of inherited stories and step into a refreshed version of yourself, one that resonates more deeply with authenticity and intention. This moon portal acts as a gateway for accelerated insight. Many will find that questions arise suddenly. Questions about direction, about relationships, about how they want to show up moving forward. These aren't distractions, they are invitations to deeper reflection. The collective consciousness is inviting you to reconsider what supports your highest good and what must be released, not out of fear, but as a natural evolution. As the moon's influence moves through this phase, it highlights the importance of presence and grounding. The world around you may feel unsettled, but within there is an opportunity to cultivate steadiness. This steadiness becomes a beacon, drawing others toward a place of calm clarity amidst the noise. Your groundedness isn't just a gift to yourself. It ripples outward, helping to stabilize the collective frequency. Many will experience a pull to recalibrate their boundaries, not just personal ones, but energetic boundaries that define how much of the external world's influence they allow in. This recalibration is essential now. The collective field is thick with competing frequencies, and discernment becomes a powerful tool. Protecting your space mentally and emotionally means you stay aligned with what truly matters. The moon portal serves as a reminder that transformation is not always visible or dramatic. Often it's in the quiet moments of decision, the subtle shifts in attitude, the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths without resistance. These incremental changes accumulate, building momentum that carries the collective toward a more awakened state. You might notice that old ways of interacting with the world no longer feel satisfying or effective. This is part of a collective clearing, a soft unraveling of outdated social contracts and roles that no longer support the collective evolution. What replaces them will be built on new foundations: empathy, authentic communication, and shared responsibility. The ripple effect from your personal breakthroughs extends far beyond your immediate circle. When you embody courage to face internal challenges and embrace your unique gifts, you inspire others, even strangers, to do the same. This interconnectedness means that your choices have weight in the collective transformation. The moon's cycles encourage you to step into this awareness. Amplified intuition is another gift of this time. The moon's energy sharpens perception, inviting you to trust insights that might previously have been dismissed or ignored. As these intuitive messages increase, you'll find yourself guided more by internal wisdom than external input. This shift from outside validation to inner authority is a crucial aspect of the awakening unfolding now. With the moon's guidance, collective healing is possible on levels rarely accessible before. Groups, communities, and even larger social structures are quietly being rewired, influenced by the many individual awakenings happening simultaneously. This process is not always visible in headlines or public forums, but it is powerful and lasting. Challenges will appear. They always do in times of rapid transformation, but they serve as markers, signposts, directing the collective away from what no longer serves and toward what holds promise for renewal. The moon portal's timing is no coincidence. It arrives as a pivotal moment in the unfolding story of human consciousness. Energy moves through you, not as something external, but as an awakening deep inside your core. The actions you take now are more than simple gestures. They are powerful activations that ripple through your entire being. These moments are invitations to align with the frequency shifting beneath the surface of daily life. Start by grounding yourself in presence. Find a quiet place. Close your eyes and breathe with intention. Imagine roots extending from your feet, anchoring you firmly to the earth's wisdom. This isn't about escaping the world. It's about reclaiming your power within it. Next, call in clarity. Light a candle or hold a crystal that resonates with you. Set an intention, not a wish but a statement of alignment. Say it aloud or in your mind, allowing your voice to carry the energy forward. This act unlocks doors within, stirring dormant codes that lie waiting for your permission to awaken. Movement is another activation. Whether it's gentle stretching, flowing yoga, or even dancing alone in your room, moving your body clears old blocks and invites fresh energy to flow freely. This helps you embody the changes unfolding inside you. Finally, take time to journal, not to analyze, but to release and connect with what surfaces. Your words become a bridge between the unseen shifts and your conscious awareness. Integration happens here, in the honest space where you honor what's emerging. Each step you take is a spark, a wave, a pulse aligned with the shift happening around you. These activations ripple beyond you, affecting the collective without you even needing to try. Trust in the process. What you plant now will grow in ways you cannot yet imagine. Between August 5th and 7th, the moon portal opens wide, inviting transformation and awakening. Before you move forward, take a moment to ground yourself in your own power. Share your strongest affirmation or power phrase in the comments below, something that anchors your intention and fuels your inner light. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. If this message has touched you, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to someone who's navigating their own shift, someone who's searching for clarity or strength. We rise together, and every shared spark helps ignite the collective flame. May you walk through these days with courage and grace. May the moon's energy guide you gently but firmly toward your highest path. Remember, you are supported, seen, and endlessly capable. Shine on, chosen one. The best chapters are unfolding just for you.